So Dungeons and Dragons is a thing, and it's a thing I quite enjoy. Evident if you've actually met me, because I happen to own this bad boy. This is a DM screen and then the 3 starter books. I even have Xanathar's Guide and Mordenkainen's, which are great books, and I'd love to have more of them. But there's something I've noticed whilst we're going through these books that really bugs me, and that is that CR is fucking bullshit. What do I mean? That's very simple. This is a kobold. CR 1.5, 1/4, I think actually, 1/8. Around that level. Very easy. You could deal with that by yourself as a first level adventurer. That's fair. CR1 creature, Scarecrow. Again, relatively simple, maybe a bit more of a challenge for your players, but they should still be able to deal with that. Now, you have a party of 3rd level characters. This is a Wyrmling. A golden Wyrmling. That has a CR of 3, and it will fucking destroy your players. Why? And then I've noticed creatures that just, despite having way higher CRs, are so easy. Fucking, I'm 100% sure a party of 1st level players could take down a white. That is, like, what can it do besides steal, like, actually that's a very good point, it can steal life essence. Okay, bad example. But, like, there are creatures that are fucking 6 level CR 6, and I've had them beaten by a party of level 4s. I made a homebrew creature, and I say that like that's some god bloody achievement. It's just a golden earth elemental. That's it, that's all it is. And that ran the same way as an earth elemental would be. That's a CR 5 against a party of level 4 adventurers. They fucking destroyed it, alright? They didn't even have a goddamn healer, and one of them wasn't even fighting for half of it. Like, what the actual hell? I've got another party, right? These guys, they fight monsters. And there's this another homebrew creature I made. I say that. It's called Belthalak, the Hand of the Fire Lord. Yeah. And it's a giant flaming spider. The main thing about that is that it used the Fire Elemental Myrmidon stats, which is perfectly fine, and it worked very well, but that's a CR 7 creature. That party was level 5. I was not expecting them to get as far as they did, and they did amazing. They killed it. And then, another example, back to the 3rd level party. Have you ever heard of the creature... Hold on. This is Mordenkainen's. I'm sure you're aware. So there is a creature called a Narzugon. I'm sure you're aware of it. There is a picture currently floating above the book as if it's some kind of fucking hologram. And the Narzugon it's an undead paladin. They were at one point paladins and now they're fiends. Because they made a pact with a devil, I think. It's a rough skimming over this, but they ride nightmares, they're very powerful. I modified these stats so that they had a ranged attack. Like, their Hellfire Lance can't be thrown. Their Hellfire Lance is not supposed to be thrown. I gave it the ability to throw that, and I set that against a level of level 6s. Now, granted, they had the help of an Earth Elemental, a CR 5 creature, but this thing has a CR of 13. And they absolutely fucking demolished it. It's not even fair how quickly they dealt with it. It used its healing hand, its healing, because it was a paladin at one point, remember. It can gain 100 hit points whenever it wants. And they just bloody destroyed it. But then, there's the interesting thing. In my campaigns, I have a character named Macran, who is a hobgoblin, and he is the current big bad evil guy of that campaign. And he has player levels. He isn't that far away from the players' levels, but he fucking destroyed them in a fight. It's maddening to me that a CR 13 creature can be dealt with like it's goddamn nothing, but a 7th level paladin, a 7th level hobgoblin paladin can destroy them. I'm so confused about what happened here. It should be simple, like this explanation, but it's not, and that really gets on my nerves. But, I mean, I can't entirely complain. It does let me use interesting monsters. I don't ever feel like, when I'm up against my players, I don't ever feel like, oh, I can't, let's just grab a random monster in here. This is a bad example. I picked up Yenogu, Yenogoshu. I think that's how that's pronounced. The knoll-looking motherfucker. Yeah, I picked him up. Let's try that again. Here you go. An Eidolon. They're CR 12. I could randomly. I feel like at ease knowing that I could just randomly pick that up and be like, all right, let's give this to my players, see how well they do. And then during the fight, if like something's going terribly, I will attempt to nerf this thing. But like even then, there is only so much I can do to help my players. Another story. You know. Okay, so there is another creature in here. I'm using this like a spell book. So I wave my hand and the motherfucking Alep appears. Where is it? There it is. The Alep. This has a CR of 5. That's entirely fair. And, you know, it's not a hard creature. It's annoying because it has such high resistances, but it has such low health that it's fine. You can honestly beat this thing up in a couple rounds. It's mainly its attacks that is its problem, which is the Maddening Touch, obviously, deals psychic damage, no way to resist that. The Whispers of Madness, obviously, where it can just target a creature and it has to make a will save, and then it takes damage, and it can't, and it must use its attack to attack its friend, which is fair. That sounds like an interesting ability to me. And then the Howling Babble, where each creature in 30 foot has to make another DC 14 Wisdom saving throw, and on a failed save, the target takes more psychic damage and is stunned until the next turn. Like, I can understand why that is a CR 5 creature. You see, the problem with that is that it should no longer be a CR 5 creature when I give it the health of a Bone Claw and continue with its resistances and immunities. Because it's still an absolute goddamn monster when it has those things. And now it has the health of a death... Is it White Claw or Death Claw? Of a Bone Claw. It's neither. It had the AC and the health of a Bone Claw. So why on earth was my Ranger with minimal assistance able to goddamn destroy it? By herself. A couple shots and like a well-placed trap, and the thing was dead. I don't understand. I really don't. It's so confusing how these things work. And that's just not me being a bad DM. I modified an Alep stats to be harder, and they still killed it so much easier. It still had it has resistance to mostly everything. The only thing that actually hurts this thing, like normally, if we can get it back up, I should not have slammed the book close. That was my bad. If we pull the thing back up, the only thing this thing like takes normal damage against is magical attacks and radiant damage. Yeah, it resists acid, fire, lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing and slashing from non-magical attacks, and it's immune to cold, necrotic and poison. So the only way to hit this thing is psychic, radiant or magic. And not even like elemental magic. It has to be magic as in like magic missile. Force, that's another one that it can't defend against. But then nothing can defend against force. That's the point. So, CRs are bullshit. Thanks for watching.